you may already have an early onset of dementia. Now, some people will forget. Forgetfulness is natural. So I want to be clear that when you forget, if you forget, it does not automatically mean that you have dementia. But when the forgetfulness is a little bit consistent and is noticeable by other people or by yourself very much, then some form of dementia has set in. And then I will break down dementia in just a minute. So now, so this lady, she opened the door. She couldn't even recognize her house again. She didn't know which door to open. She would try to open this door. She would not even recognize the door. And you know what? She peed on herself. She just, because she couldn't find the bathroom. She was so pressed, but she could not remember the door of the bathroom. She ran upstairs. She tried to open this door. It wasn't the bathroom. She went and opened the kitchen. It wasn't the bathroom. She went to almost every door except the bathroom. As she was running outside to come and call the husband to show her where the bathroom is, she peed on herself. And for me, that broke me down. Like, how does it get there? And it can happen to anybody. But by God's grace, by the time we finish this presentation, nobody, God will not allow anybody to suffer from such high level of dementia, whereby it gets to a point where you don't remember your children, you don't remember your family member, you don't remember where used to live. It all happens and it can be prevented. So today we are going to learn a little bit about that. I just had to share that story because I cried because she was such a perfect lady, but you know, when disease wants to rubbish you, it really rubbishes you. So that being said, let me open the slides and have that in mind because on that same movie, it was used as an introduction, and then they taught some skills that we can use to either reverse and then prevent. And those are the skills that we are going to learn today to make sure we don't even get there. But if we get there, we can start to reverse those. So that is why we are here today. Once again, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. And for those of you that are just joining us, my name is Dr. Susan. This happens every Wednesday, and I believe we are still using the same link. So that is that. So in less than 1 minute, I'm going to share my screen and then I will take it from there. Okay. Okie dokie. All righty. So I'm sharing my screen this second and then we get started. Screen share, screen. Start the broadcasting. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now. All right. So once again, welcome to the class. You know me by name. My name is Dr. Susanna Adams. This is my background. I use the Harvard-trained lifestyle medicine profession to train this, as well as my MPH background to teach preventive medicine. So this is preventing cognitive decline. So let's get into it. So the objective, well, whether I'm reading the objective or not, my whole thing is that by the time I'm done, we should start some behavioral practices that will make sure that when we are older, we are sharp, very, very sharp. And if your own cognitive decline has already set in, by God's grace, this presentation should either help you to stop it or actually help you to reverse it. So I want the cognitive decline to stop or get reversed. So that's the plan. And I've already introduced the topic of cognitive decline, and I will read what it stands for. So if you look at this picture, sometimes when the cognitive decline starts, it looks like your head is under the water. you cannot remember, you wake up tired, you feel like a brain fog, like, like that. So by God's grace, we will work on this. So, just that WHO says that right now, over 55 million people worldwide live with some form of dementia. So I will define, I don't think I have a definition for dementia on here, but I'll try to define, because a lot of people don't know the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's. I know people used to hear about Alzheimer's disease, and it's just like people hear about Parkinson's disease and essential tremors, like that, like that. So we will define dementia so that we will know what is dementia. Okay? Okay. So that is that. But what scared me the most is that every year, nearly 10 million cases will join. Every year, nearly 10 million cases will join each year. Now, it says that studies has confirmed completely, it was still the WHO data, that 40% of dementia cases are preventable through early intervention. That is why we are here. Okay? Our brain is not designed to deteriorate prematurely. It's not supposed to just disappear on you. Okay? So, by God's grace, with some things that we will learn today, movement, rest, mental engagement, etc., we will correct that so that we will be sharp until we are 100 years old. I want to be sharp till I'm 100 years old. So I have even started doing some weird things, which I don't know whether it's even safe to share on this platform, to ensure that my brain stays sharp. Really, some weird things. But okay, if I'm led, I will expose myself as usual. But you know what? Me, I will not go down with mental decline, and none of you will go down with mental decline
Amen.
either. Amen. That's my prayer point. So, what is this cognitive decline? Because you'll be hearing it. So, cognitive decline just means this gradual loss of what? Thinking ability. I told you that at 65, they retire a lot of people, whether you're a director or what, they retire them a lot. 65 to 70, the study shows that some form of mental decline starts setting in. And the study also shows that 40% of those decline could have been prevented. That is why we are here to learn, and then even reversed. So it is a natural part of aging, no doubt, but in many cases, it accelerates due to things that we are doing wrongly. So this cognitive decline actually is a measurable decrease in cognitive performance, often affecting memory, one, executive function, two, attention. You notice that some older people, they even have attention deficit disorder. They can't focus. They just want to be all over the place. It even affects language. So it can be mild, it can be severe, okay? So the severe form can be like the Alzheimer's, etc. So there's an organization called National Institute on Aging, okay? So they actually say that there's mild cognitive decline, and it can actually proceed to Alzheimer's. So at this point, I want to, because you'll be hearing, oh, someone is forgetting something, you say, the person has Alzheimer's. So let me just use this opportunity to tell you what is Alzheimer's and what dementia is. So dementia means that general umbrella term for people starting to forget something, that general term for the beginning side of what they call cognitive decline. It's a general term for anything that has to do with memory, language, just you're declining in cognitive function. Now, Alzheimer's, because, so don't just say, oh, she has Alzheimer's. No. Alzheimer's is actually a specific disease In fact, you can test, there's something called amyloid plaques that forms in the brain and eats up the brain, like deteriorates the neurons, and it messes up the brain so much that you will forget. So you can see that Alzheimer's is actually a severe form of dementia. So they usually say that not everybody that has Alzheimer's, not everybody that has dementia has Alzheimer's, but everybody that has Alzheimer's has dementia. Yes, so that is it. So I want you to play small doctor for me. That means anytime you see someone starting to forget things over and over again, the safe term, what it's not good to stigmatize people because words hurt, but the safest term in your head is, oh, there's a small form of cognitive decline, or I think there's some form of dementia. But once you say, that person, that one don't get Alzheimer's, how would you know? So Alzheimer's has a specific thingy that classifies Alzheimer's. So that is that. So if you see this last sentence, it says that according to this Institute on Aging, mild cognitive decline may progress to it may even precede Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's by several years. So I wanted you to get that. So henceforth, if you see someone forgetting something, what is in your head is that dementia or cognitive decline, not necessarily Alzheimer's. But then we in Nigeria we don't do a very good job testing for Alzheimer's. So we just classify everybody under dementia because Alzheimer has to be, you have to see like those plaques in the head and all of that. So some terms that you should be familiar with before we move on to the juicy part is cognition. When you're talking about cognitive decline, you'll be hearing words like cognition. That means the mental process of learning and remembering and reasoning, cognition. Then this word, please, if you're writing down, write it. It's called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity says that the brain's ability to form new neural connection. You can build new brain, new neurons, so for example, if at an old age you start learning keyboarding, or you start learning how to swim, or you go and learn squash, so you're going to expand on or take advantage of this thing called neuroplasticity. So that is a good one. And if you do that, definitely this dementia thing is not going to be your friend. You'll be hearing things like oxidative stress, which damages and causes more of dementia. You hear neuroinflammation. We keep saying that chronic inflammation is bad, but did you know that chronic inflammation is so bad for your brain? And that is why things like turmeric tea, okay, green tea, okay, ginger and garlic tea, assuming you don't have a contraindication, all of this help manage systemic. So the inflammation that I'm always talking about is not only happening in your body, it's all the way to your brain, and it eats up the neuron, it messes you up in the head. Then another term in that space is BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So that one is a protein that promotes neuron growth and repair. So there are some supplements that they sell on the market and they say it helps the BDNF. I know that we have something like this, but in our clinic we have it injectable. So we use it for like severe Alzheimer's dementia case and people that have stroke. However, I'm going to teach you some natural things that you can use at home, but just know that there's something called BDNF. Okay? Alrighty, so let's get to it. Let me see whether I can mute everybody out again. Hang on. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So today, there's some risk factors. Okay. What is going to accelerate your this thing? Lifestyle, one, nutrition, two, okay, cardiometabolic, three. That means if you already have a medical condition such as hypertension, diabetes, or obesity, honestly, it's not your fault because these conditions damage blood vessels in the brain. And that's why sometimes you hear like high BP, the person got a stroke. Okay. So it means that whatever I'm going to teach today in terms of solution, you have to be more serious if you have any of those medical conditions. Okay. Chronic stress and depression also is a risk factor. Okay. And then environmental. So if you see right now, they show that secondhand smoking is more deadly than the people that are actually holding the cigarette in their hand. So you see someone smoking, you're sitting there because you're not the one smoking. The person is actually protected by a filter, but you're getting the even the exhalation. It's really horrible. Also, alcohol promotes dementia, pollution, because they are all neurotoxic to the brain. And lastly, age related. So, aging and poor sleep. So, if as you're aging, you're having very much poor sleep, then slower regeneration and reduced neuroplasticity will happen. I'm sorry that we get to a certain age where we have to work to sustain our family. We have to think about this world, put things together, and sometimes it takes away our sleep. But you know what? We have to sleep as medicine. That means if you have a high blood pressure, if you did not take your drug, your BP will not come down. So that is the same way we are going to force ourselves to take this sleep as a medicine. So here are some, this is where I want to get to. So here are some ways to prevent it, okay? Um, So for those people that miss the lecture and wait for lecture note and this thing, they will not get this bonus. So this is the biggest bonus. So that movie, I told you in the beginning of this presentation that there was a lady who was stepping out of the house with the husband, and she just needed to go back inside to pee, to urinate. And because she had a very severe form of dementia and forgetfulness, it was actually Alzheimer's at that point. She entered her house and she couldn't recognize the doors. So she opened the first door. The first door was a kitchen and the urine was almost coming out. She closed it. She opened another door. It was the parlor. She ran upstairs. The door she opened was the storage. Like she just opened almost every door except the toilet. And she was running downstairs to come and call the husband to help her out to find the toilet. She urinated on herself. And this was a very polished lady. And that's why I said that when disease wants to rubbish somebody, it doesn't pick title. And she just, you know what she did that broke me is that she just laid down on her urine and just like, you know what, let me just die. She just folded herself down and just laid down there like, you know what is my usefulness? Now, they use that movie to introduce a skill. And the skill was that every morning, we teach you the Dr. Physique exercise. Maybe during the next lecture, we'll teach you that bedside exercises that you're supposed to do every morning to age more gracefully. So you will hold your ear. Let me go back here. You hold your ear like this. Um, how will I do this? Okay, should I come? I'll come back in the end because I want to show you specifically that exercise that you should do almost every morning or whenever you remember. And it is guaranteed that you will not have cognitive decline. And even if you have cognitive decline, it will start reversing. So just remind me at the end of this lecture, I'll show you that unique exercise that, in fact, is guaranteed because I have used it in lots of our clients. Remember, like I always say, everything we learn on this platform is experience, collective experience over the past almost 10 years that we've been practicing lifestyle medicine in our clinic. So I will share the ones we have used that helped people. One, brisk walking. Brisk walking, for those of you doing brisk walking, it helps the brain. So at least 2.5 miles per hour. Well, just don't worry about miles per hour. Just know that if you do up to 5,000 steps brisk, well, they say we should be doing 10,000 steps, but anything from 5,000, as long as it's brisk walking, will halt your dementia and start reversing it. What is the reason? You're pumping a lot of oxygen, blood, and you're cleaning out your brain. You're cleaning out your neurons. You're removing the fogs. So that is why you must pant a little bit. So anytime you're exercising, don't exercise for your BP. Don't exercise for obesity. Don't exercise. Also exercise for what they call brain fitness. So when you get that, know that you're having a super brain fitness. So that is your brisk walking. Gardening, because the art of gardening, things are growing and everything also helps to reverse cognitive decline. Dancing, dancing also. Those of you like that like to dance, it's gonna be hard to forget anything. So dancing, because of the coordination, because when you're dancing, you carry your right hand, you put to your left, you carry your left, you put to your left. So your neurons are like activated and you're connecting the right to the left and the left to the right and all of that. So some dancing also helps. So as a senior citizen, if you don't know how to dance, you can get an app and start dancing really crazy. Nobody's looking, only God, and God loves you unconditionally. You can dance for God. You can dance in the shower. Okay. And water aerobics. I think everybody should learn how to swim. But you know what? Just like everybody will not learn how to play tennis, but swimming is such a beautiful this thing. For one, your stomach will not be too big. It helps to keep the stomach as flat as possible. It helps the brain, swimming. So swimming is actually a very, very, very good. So it says water aerobics. So tennis, especially doubles, and then bike riding, slower than 10 miles per hour, just slowly riding your bike, not stationary bicycle. Just, because when you're riding your bicycle, you're trying to balance. That ability to balance, you have exercised your brain. So all of this type of thing, like if you learn a keyboard and piano, it's going to decrease memory decline. And I'll show you other things that we are going to do. So there's something called, why we keep doing this lecture, and please keep coming. Why we keep doing this lecture is that most of the things that are out there are things that are done in foreign countries. We don't have in-country experience for Black people, either in Nigeria or whatever, for lifestyle modification. Oyibo people, they will study their own. Look at this one. It says adopt mind. What is mind? Mind actually stands for Mediterranean intervention intervention diet, like that. So they started like Mediterranean diet. It's just healthy diet, but because they have done a clinical study on Mediterranean type diet. What is Mediterranean type diet? That is very rich in fruit, vegetable, whole grains, olive oil. Please, for those of you that are still cooking your olive oil, when you cook olive oil, extra virgin olive oil is medicine that can get rid of so many diseases. So many. Wake up in the morning, do olive oil first thing in the morning on empty stomach. It will get rid of diabetes. It gets rid of all these stomach problems that people have, ulcers. Is good for constipation and everything. It's even good for cholesterol. Now, people carry the olive oil and they fry it. So you now move it from unsaturated fatty acid, which is pure medicine, instantly by showing fire to polysaturated. So you carry medicine and turn to poison. So you can fry with other oils, even groundnut oil or whatever oil, all the nonsense oil. But when it comes to olive oil, it's not good when it's fried or cooked. So you can pour it on your food after the food is cooked to get the medicinal value. But when you cook it, it becomes you destroy the medicine because it's expensive. Okay. Omega 3, whether directly from fish, like sardine, the sardine that we have is very, very healthy. Sardine, yes, it's from a can, but actually, it is actually very healthy fish, and it gives you a lot of protein. So we have fish, we have flaxseed, we have walnuts, etc. I'm not a fan of processed or canned food, but sardine does it's better that because we don't have enough good oils and we don't have enough protein. So what are we going to do? Risk outweigh benefit. I mean benefit outweighs the risk. We have to manage now. Antioxidant food. I told you before, turmeric, berries, dark chocolate. Okay, in Nigeria, that cocoa that is bitter, if you mix it and put small honey, assuming you're not a diabetic, small honey, it helps to reverse brain issues. So that cocoa, the one, we grew up on Milo, Pronto, for those of you that are old enough to know what Pronto is, Pronto and all those sugary cocoa drinks, we are saying that the raw cocoa, it can increase your blood volume for you, it would improve your memory for you, it does so much. So that is it. So for those of you that are writing, you should have black cocoa in your house, even if it's once a week. And then some people, it it might make you don't take it at night, take it in the morning, because for some reason, one or two persons, it may not allow them to sleep very well at night. But take it in the morning. So if you want to have something handy in your house, and you know that long term it will preserve your cognitive function, your brain, etc. Have some black cocoa in your house, have omega 3 in your house, and be a friend of leafy green vegetables and olive oil, including things like walnut. Walnut, it looks like a picture of a brain. Even almond is, those almond and walnut are very, very good for the brain as well. So here are 10 foods that boost the brain. Okay. Fatty fish, I've already talked about that. Berries like blueberries, not like walnut, because they actually did a study on walnut. And I know that somebody will ask me, is it Nigerian walnut or American walnut? The study was actually done on American walnut, that foreign walnut, but we've also come to realize that our own local walnut that God gave us here is also very, very brain preserving for sharp thinking. It's very good for sharp thinking. leafy green vegetable, eggs. Eggs is also very good because the brain is made up of cholesterol anyway. So eggs are very, very good, and especially the choline that are inside the eggs. Avocado is very, very good for blood flow to the brain. It literally helps the blood flow better to the brain. With whole grains in general, pumpkin seeds. I know one of our clients who come to our clinic, any amount of pumpkin seed we have, he'll pack everything. They keep saying dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is good, but me, I would prefer black cocoa because we are selling Nigeria. So we have black cocoa. You can make your own dark chocolate, but dark chocolate is a little bit preserved, etc., but it's better than the milk chocolate. I said turmeric before, and God has put it here again for me. So the lady on that video that I was telling you, they use as an introduction to teach about prevention of Alzheimer's and reversal of Alzheimer's. She used to drink turmeric tea almost every day. When you're drinking turmeric tea, just small. Since you're drinking it consistently, you don't have to overdo it. Just a little turmeric inside will actually, the curcumin will reduce inflammation and also support new brain cells. So that is that. So these are food that are very, very good for the brain. Salmon, fish, broccoli. See, it looks like the brain. Berries, almonds. So at this point, I just want to say something. And what I want to say is that it's just to pay attention. Like even if you don't get anything out of here, I want you to get something that, okay, I have a brain. I have cognition. With age, no matter what, it must start coming down at some point, okay? Some people come down a lot faster than the rest. So for those people who just have like 1% cognitive decline, 2%, 3%, you may not really notice. So you say, my grandmother, even at the age of 100, is so sharp because only 1 or 2 or 3 are not noticeable. But there are some people that even from the age 30, 40, 50, 60, they will have as high as 20%, 30, 40, 50% cognitive decline. Now, what are we saying is that if you deliberately pay attention to some of these things that we have spoken about, you will literally stop, because the decline is happening so small, like in a very microscopic manner. You may not even notice it until you start saying, I don't used to remember names again. I'm always losing my phone. Where is the car key? Okay. Kai. Now, one thing I want to teach you at this junction is that please, anytime you don't remember something, never ever use your mouth and say, I don't remember. Hello? Never ever use your mouth and pronounce what you don't want to say. So what is the solution? Anytime you don't remember anything for the rest of your life, just say, what's the name again? It will come back to me. And then silently inside your heart say, my brain is good. I remember everything. So, but every time you don't remember something, you say, hi, I don't understand what is happening to me, or lately I don't remember anything. So that reinforcement, you keep reinforcing and affirming, I don't remember anything, I don't remember anything. Eventually your brain will hear you. And the day your brain hears you, everything is gone. So affirmation works. So you can touch your head and tell yourself, I remember everything. And then there's a hand movement that I actually make. So there are two things I'll show you when I come back to video. That hand movement, if I forget, please tell me. If I'm talking about something and I forget, I'll just do like this. When I do that, it just means it will come back to me. I love my brain. So you need to tease somebody for the person to come near you. If you keep saying somebody, you're not good, the person will go now. So okay, I've already talked about staying physically active. Okay, swimming, dancing, walking. Swimming. So now what I said is that anytime you're walking, swimming or dancing, don't say I'm doing it for fitness. Yes, you are doing it for fitness and all the rest of the things. However, now you're also doing for brain fitness. There's something called brain fitness, and we are going to see. Now, physical activity includes blood flow and oxygen flow and promotes the release of this BDNF, which I taught already, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is the key molecule that stimulates neuron growth. So, some ways to keep the mind very, very sharp. See, reading. People don't read again these days. You don't. Reading, okay. Learning a new skill. When you're age 50, which new skill did you add? If you add a new skill, you just reverse your age, your brain age back to like 40 or 30. When you're 60, what new skill? For example, if you're a lawyer and you just keep law, your brain is like second nature. It's not challenged. But assuming you're a lawyer and you now decide to go and pick up a course in, I don't know what lawyers don't learn, accounting, or maybe a course in physics. Whoa, are you kidding me? Your brain is gonna be like, what the heck? It will reset you back to when you're in your 20s. There's a little bit of exaggeration there, obviously, but the point is, it will be like, what do we have here? So like that. I've always been in the science field. I did pharmacy. I have a doctor of pharmacy degree. I did all kinds of science. I have I have a master's in health management. I did the lifestyle medicine program, the Harvard program. I did a public health master's. And I was like, I'm always here. So one day I decided to go do, because I'm always in school, I like reading naturally, to do an MBA. Oh my God, MBA. And I have accounting, trial balance, left sheet, right credit, debit, everything I used to think like it was a credit, debit, weird things that, whoa, what the heck is this, So new skills. So that's like challenging your other side of the brain, because you're either too right-brained or left-brained. And that's why, like, if you're a right-handed person, you're using a lot of the left side. If you're left-handed, like that. So when you go to that brand new skill, so as I said, when you're 70, you decide, I want to learn how to swim. Your brain is like, kilo there. So you just start moving backwards. Your brain. So what point am I trying to stress is that for every age, whenever you scale an age, every 5 years, when you're 45, what new thing did you learn? When you're deliberately, it must, and it should not be in your field of specialization. It should be, you know what, you can actually learn to do puzzles, crossword puzzles, and become a world trophy holder for crossword puzzles. Because crossword puzzle, we use it in our clinic to reverse Alzheimer's. So and dementia. So every patient that has ever come to Dr. Physique clinic for memory loss, we always give them crossword puzzles. So we will do a memory test on day one. We will give them something sharp. We'll also give them, even if we didn't give them anything, but whatever, we normally do sharp. But the point is that we'll give them a crossword puzzle. After week one, we'll give them a similar memory test, and you see the smile on their face that they can actually remember better. Like that. So if you're in an aeroplane or maybe on a bus and you see those older people doing crossword puzzle, they are so sharp. So you go to the primary school section of your children's or grandchildren's book, buy those books that children do, A connect to C, this, it will rewire your brain. Okay, so brain, what you need to know about your brain today, please put your hand on your head right now. I know I cannot see you, but I trust you. Put your hand on your head and say, use it or lose it. Okay, do it again. Use it or lose it. Sorry, whether you did that properly or not, that is how the brain works. So it's either you use it. So if you don't keep, what I'm trying to, these skills and stuff, maybe when you're 55, you learn dancing. When you're 60, you learn swimming. When you're 65, you learn a keyboard. When you're just have fun with your life. Like, it must not be this way, however your body is directed, okay? But challenge your brain because the brain is like a muscle. When you challenge a muscle, it grows. When you challenge your brain, it also grows. So be a lifelong learner, okay? It will delay dementia for up to 5 years. Okay, this was a Cambridge study, okay? So that is where we are. So, as I said before, prioritize sleep. Sleep is a brain and memory detox, okay? And then sleep will actually 70 promotes memory. Okay, sleep deprivation increase that beta amyloid. So beta amyloid are the Alzheimer's marker. Remember that I told you that everybody at some point have some kind of forgetfulness, but when it's too much, we now start using big English called dementia. But when you now start finding beta amyloid plaques in the brain of a human being, destroying everything and causing zero memory, that is when you have Alzheimer's. So beta amyloid increase in the beta amyloid plaques in the brain is the clinical marker for Alzheimer's disease. So deep sleep. So you prioritize quality over quantity for sleep to clean out. So the sleep is the only thing you use to clean. One of the best ways to clean your brain. So you sleep, it removes the fog. Because if you don't sleep, you have a fog, you carry fog, join another fog. Before you know it, the brain was this side come mix this and it scatters and you're where you are. Manage your stress. Okay, stress will increase cortisol. It would damage the hippocampus. Hippocampus is a part of the brain that also controls memory. In fact, where memory, short term, long term, and storage, exchange of memory in the brain is actually on the hippocampus. There are different parts of brain that have to do with the memory. So many, the amygdala, the cerebral cortex, there are many parts of the brain. But at the top is this hippocampus, and stress literally damages it. So anytime you're stressed, honestly, just on stress and distress, because the damage that the stress is causing, we used to talk about it causes cancer and diabetes and obesity. Now the brain is also going. So wrapping down, prayers, mindfulness and prayer helps the brain. When you just calm down and just take deep breathing exercises out. Let's do it together. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out. When you redirect that much oxygen through your nose to the brain, you literally you use broom and sweep it. That is it. So anytime you're doing your deep breathing exercises, you're doing a lot for your body. So there was a Harvard study that showed that meditation increases gray matter in the memory area. So when they put some probes, like when you go for ECG, there's something called EEG. They put some things on the brain and they made the people to do meditation. And they actually found out that those parts of the brain that had to do with memory were much more highlighted during and after meditation. So that's a good one too. Okay, staying socially connected will actually decrease dementia by up to 50%. Okay, so those that have BP problem, keep it low because it accelerates dementia. High cholesterol accelerates dementia, high blood sugar accelerates dementia. And remember, when I say dementia, Alzheimer's is some form of a dementia, but more severe. So for those of you that like taking supplements, if you have a deficiency in vitamin D, maybe another lecture I'll do on vitamin D, where we can get it at. Because this vitamin D, it prevents cancer if you've always had it. Vitamin D prevents memory loss. Vitamin D, D like dog, increases your immune system and immune health. Vitamin D, D like dog, it increases your bone health to decrease all this osteoarthritis and degenerative bone diseases. But I can continue. So what I want to challenge, when was the last time you went and did a vitamin D deficiency test? Some people are just taking vitamin D blindly. So please, anytime you go for your next test, deliberately ask for your vitamin D test. And then if it is not complete, start taking it. You must not wait until you have a diagnosis in cancer, diabetes, and this and that. Why are we even on this lecture? Is it not to prevent? Okay. So avoid excess alcohol, drug use, and self-medication. Okay. So let me see. I've already talked about this. So in summary, this is my last slide. I want you to go home today with some things, key habits, eating clean. Anytime you eat clean, you're doing it for your brain. Anytime you exercise, we talked about the brisk walking and everything, you're boosting your what they call neurogenesis and circulation. So it's really good. When you sleep well, you know what you're doing? You're literally using a broom on your brain. You're cleaning out toxins from the brain. When you keep on learning, you keep strengthening your neural network. I talked about neuroplasticity. So when you manage stress, you know what you do? You protect memory and mental clarity because that stress hormone is like a fog to your brain and your neurons. So it's like the cortisol goes up, the inflammation is like your head is under. In fact, anytime you're stressed out, this is how you are. You're like this one. Let me show you. So this is it. So it's like your head is under the water. So try as hard as you can. We live in a very stressful world. So what do you do? What you do is you have stress coping abilities and techniques. So stay social. So that's the end of the main part. Remember, I owe you one skill that you must add, and you can literally halt and reverse. So as soon as I'm gonna show it to you. But because this is Dr. Physique um, wellness class. And by the way, how the class started is that if they give you a prescription for drug, say you can go to pharmacy. If they give you for surgery, you go to another doctor. But if they give you a prescription for lifestyle modification, where do you go? You go to Dr. Physique. So that is why we are here. So these are the ones that we practice in the clinic. We practice rest as medicine. We have heard today that rest is like using a broom to clean out toxins from your brain, and it's so amazing. Energy, you pay attention to your, remember I always say that anything that I teach, if I tell you to drink cocoa and honey for your brain, mix a little bit honey, 1 teaspoon of cocoa, 1 teaspoon of honey in your hot water, and have it as a beverage, preferably in the morning. It's very, very good for the brain. If you take that and it's affecting your ulcer or whatever, you don't take it, because you have to listen to your body, listen to your cells, listen to your system, listen. So you do and listen, because no two people, no two persons are the same. But you need to pay attention. Another thing we teach here is that when you wake up tomorrow morning that we are entering now, listen to your body. If you wake up super energized, like, whoa, guess what? It means everything you did the day before and the other day was perfect. But if you wake up tired, groggy, you did not do your reown, it means that somewhere along the line you have messed up on either rest, energy, oxygen, water, nutrition, or exercise, something, or even detoxification. So every morning when you wake up, do your reowned in your head. Reown is rest, and energy is re-own, OWN. Oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, and stuff. So when you wake up, you sit down and you say, I don't feel so good today. What could I have done wrong? You just start saying, okay, rest. Yeah, I rested well. Energy. Oxygen, start doing your deep breathing exercise. Water, oh, I did not drink enough water yesterday. You will drink it today. Nutrition, is that semo that I ate, that soup did not agree with. So you listen to your body. We talk about water as medicine. Try to do 50 cl of water, about 4 to 6 bottles. We prefer 6. However, if you have a medical condition that does not allow you to drink that much water, then don't drink that much water. If you're just starting for the first time, then you do small and graduate up. For nutrition in Dr. Physic, we want you to have adequate protein, and then pay attention for your raw food. Any day you did not eat live food, you did not live that day. So live food gives life, and dead food gives what it gives. So eat live food, because so much medicine that God has put on earth is in the raw food. Exercise, like we talked about today, brisk walking, doing your 10,000 steps, 5,000 steps. I know somebody who does 10,000 steps all the time, and the person is so sharp. I mean, his brain alone is attractive. So if you see if the person did not do 10,000 steps in a day, the person did not even feel like he did anything. And you wonder why he's so sharp. So we can copy this person, okay? And then we have other people that don't pay attention but do the brisk. So this is about your brain. If you don't have your brain, in fact, it's a tough one. Oh. And finally, detoxification. We talk about water detox. Fasting is a form of detox that will clean out your brain. Fasting will clean out your brain. Maybe, because of time, we will visit that. So we talk about water, drinking water for detox, drinking celeries and green juices for detox, fasting for detox. We talk about colonic hydrotherapy for detox. And then we have this one, blood filtration. You can literally filter your blood and all of that. So why I brought this is that Dr. Physic presentation is not complete until we do that one. So in conclusion, preventing cognitive decline is it's not one magic pillow. It's not a magic pill. It's about consistent, balanced living. I will add it's about being deliberate. You just have to be aware and conscious about the fact that if you do nothing, you lose it. That's it. So if you have that at the back of the mind, this is my brain. If I do nothing about it, it will come down. Then you will start doing something about it. Every lifestyle choice you make can either protect or damage your brain. So through nutrition, as I told you what to do, movement, stress management, meaningful relationship, you can build resilient, youthful brain that can remain active and super sharp for decades. The brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger with proper use and nourishment. So thank you so much for your time. I will take your questions. And before I take that question, I will show you the exercise I was talking about so that from tonight and before tomorrow morning, you will start doing the exercise. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So that exercise, this is how it goes, okay? So you take your hand, you crisscross it. You hold this side of your ear and hold the other side of the ear. And okay, let me see. I hope you can be able to see me well. Let me try. I'm wearing a dress, sorry, not gym clothes. Okay, so all right. So basically, you hold your ear like this, not like this. Okay, and then you just squat and stand up. Squat and stand up. I'm sure you cannot hold it like this, but whatever, just crisscross it. Squat and stand up. So even if you can do like 10 to 20 every morning, the study shows that it literally halts it. So if you were to have even 0.1% cognitive decline on that day, it's gone. You will not have cognitive. So this cognitive decline, it doesn't show up like that. It's small. Before you know it, it caves in. So we want to stop it. So if you're able to, even if you're not able to do this squat, just crisscrossing and pulling, it actually helps with the cognitive decline. Number two, promise. I said, if you are forgetting your key, the name of a person or whatever, and instead of you to say, oh, I forget, I'm always forgetting, I never remember, except you're talking to a doctor, you must not use that word on yourself. So for me, if I forget something, I just do like this. It's my own that I generated. Like this, it means I love my brain, it will come back to me. So I don't need to say it with my mouth. So I just do like this. Like I love my brain, it will come back to me. That doesn't mean that if I'm pulling my hair back, that I've forgotten something that time. So you don't like because like if I'm pulling hair now, someone might think, oh, Dr. Susan has forgotten something. No, not the hair. Literally, I go like this. It's my own. Cause I can't abuse my brain because if you abuse your brain, your brain will leave you. Sure. I am happy that we are all here till this hour. I hope no matter what, that you picked something. And even if you didn't pick anything, at least you should go away remembering that we have a part of our body that no matter what happens, it will come down, but we can actually stop it, halt it, or actually increase it through some of the skills that we have learned this side, lifestyle habits, and more. If you have very severe dementia, you can reach out to me. I'll give you a questionnaire form you will fill out, and then I can recommend for free some supplements that you can take because I don't want to blindly say You should go take ginkgo biloba. It's actually a good one. But depending on how your own is happening, ashwagandha, a lot of cocktails are out there. I don't mind helping out. So that is where we are. But the most important thing is that having a recognition that today the brain actually comes down, and these are the things you will do to make sure that it doesn't come down. So I'll take your question. Thank you so much for loving me this much and staying with me all the way till now. God bless all of you. And your brain is not going anywhere. Even if it has gone, it will come back. That is my prayer for you. Thank you. So yes, sure. So we'll take some questions now. It says some of us who are new don't know your background. Okay. Well, my background is very simple. I came into lifestyle. My mom and dad had so many medical conditions, and they were just not getting bad because they were just very, very drug dependent. So in finding out how to help my parent, I found my passion. So I did lifestyle medicine in Harvard, and then I started teaching and practicing lifestyle medicine. I started with my parents. To God be the glory. They are both almost 90s. At least they can walk, do babysitting job, enjoy their grandchildren, etc. And once my parents got better, I decided I'll take it to the world. So I also did a pharmacy background, and I have a doctor of pharmacy degree, and then I did a master's in health management. I mean, it's there. So thank you for asking. I know that you're new. Okay, funny, Dr. Susan. Yes, so I like being funny. Please, what are the different sources of vitamin D? Well, the free one that God gave all of us is the morning sunlight. Anything before 11 o'clock will work. 10 o'clock is better. So that morning sunlight, for me, that is the go-to vitamin D for natural source. You can also take it from food. There are different sources of food, supplements, etc. But I think for me, the number one go-to for vitamin D is actually the sunlight. Thank you so much, Dr. Susan. God bless you richly. God bless you too. Thank you for loving us. I love you. God bless you. Dr. Susan, thank you for the presentation. What do you say about drinking tea? The white take a lot of it. Thanks. Tea is very good for the brain. Black tea, green tea is very, 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 very good for the brain. But of course, if you excessively abuse caffeine, it will now have the opposite effect. Dr. Susan, God bless you. God bless you too. I need remedy for sleep naturally. Okay, text me privately so that we can just wrap it up. Okay, so is there any other questions or can we go home? Did you get that exercise? You start doing it tomorrow morning. Just squat, stand up, squat, stand up. Then get that book, the puzzle, go to the shop, your children's shop, buy that puzzle and be doing it. You just have it in your office, have it at home. Then sardine, the fish sardine is very good for the brain. Almonds are very good for the brain. Brisk walking is good for the brain. But for me, what is best for the brain is affirmation. It's just that my brain serves me well. I have an excellent memory. Just be repeating it to yourself. Maybe when you shower, you bless your body, you bless your brain. It helps, and the deep breathing exercises. So that's that. Okay, so any question for me today? Comment? Is anybody there?
Good evening, Dr. Susan. We are here.
I was getting lonely.
Yeah, thank you for the lecture. Sorry, I'm asking a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. You talked about nature therapy. Do you want to expatiate on that? Nature therapy. I
Nature
would like to hear
therapy.
more, yes, about nature therapy. You talked about it.
You mean nature therapy for brain health or for what?
Yeah, when you were talking about, yes, this brain health, I think you mentioned that nature therapy. I can't remember. I think it was one of the under one of these subheadings. There, you talked about nature therapy
Okay,
as
so
very good, yes, to maintain brain health or whatever. Yes.
okay, I think the nature or natural therapies that I was trying to talk about, I think I've already kind of here and there gone through it. I talk about the deep breathing exercises because when you do that, you're shooting so much oxygen to the brain, and it's like a vacuum cleaner. It just sucks off all the in between. It sucks off the fog from the brain because the heart pumps blood to take oxygen to the brain to remove all the fog and everything. So I don't know if that's the question you're looking for, but that is one natural therapy for brain health. Then I talked about the exercise, the one that you hold your ear up and down as one other natural therapy. And I also talked about the food that you eat. I talked about the sleep. So I think this is what I'm referring to as natural therapy, unless I did not understand
Okay. Thank you.
you. Thank you, sir. You can still reach out to me. We can talk
Good
more.
evening, Dr. Susan.
Yes, dear. Good evening.
Yes, I put my question in the chat box, but I'll ask it. What is the cause of falling asleep at meetings, in church, while driving? Once there's silence, one tends to fall asleep. What's the cause?
This is a very serious question, especially when driving. This is,
Wow, serious one. Wow, that's dangerous.
oh my God, I can't laugh, you know.
That's
Yes,
serious.
somebody has helped me to laugh here. Okay, I'm sorry. Your question is a very good question, but it's just that falling asleep when driving, that one got me. Okay. So, number one reason why people fall asleep, well, for me, when they're listening, is that they're already tired. They're already tired and they're overwhelmed. So when you're listening to new information, especially in a meeting, and your brain is trying to process and file, process and file, process and file, and there are other ones coming from the back, you know what? You might find yourself dull and tired. Maybe you did not rest well the day before, etc. But I have a skill that I use. Let me just teach you what I tell people to do. Okay, I want to teach you something. Can you see me? Can you
Yes, I
see?
can. Yes, I can.
Okay. So when
Can you please mute everyone, please? Can you please mute everyone? There's some background noise.
Tell people not to make noise, that's all.
Okay, so I wanted to teach you something. I'm looking for a pen. Okay, so whenever you're falling asleep in a meeting, you can do like this reflexology skills. So this is a pen. Hold on. Okay, just take the pen. This is your finger, and just tap. I don't know whether you can see it. Can you see?
You are off the camera. I can't see your hands.
Oh, I'm off the camera, right?
Your hands are off the camera, so I can't see your palm.
Okay. Take a pen at the tip of the head of your finger. Take the pen and poke it. Poke your all your fingers. Just keep poking it. Poke here. Poke here. Let me see. Can you see now? Poke.
Yes, I can.
Poke. 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 It actually sends a signal to your brain, and you will wake up whether you like it or not. So this part of the body is connected to your brain for sleep. If you poke it like that, in meetings, you will wake up to start with. So, it happens. So it doesn't mean that you have dementia or somebody has Alzheimer's disease when they are falling asleep. It just means that the brain is tired and the person is physically tired. So I think for me, the first reason why people, and then also monotony, how do they say it in Nigeria? Monotony. So when something is, like the same, sounding the same, like your
Monotonous.
monotonous or monotonous, you just disappear. So I think it's a natural thing for people to fall asleep when you're bored and all of that. So it's not defined as a disease. It just means that you're only on one side of the brain like that, and then it sounds standing to the brain like la 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 la, lullaby, lullaby, lullaby. Then you go. So that's what I think for the meetings. So, but for the driving, if somebody is driving and falling asleep, that is very unnatural. So maybe it's exhaustion, or it's definitely not from the village, but it's probably just.
It needs a driver.
Maybe it's just an exhaustion. This is my thinking, actually. So, but the thing is that, thank you for your question, but there's something I want you to be very, decline in cognitive function is what we are talking about, and it can present as such. So everything you've described shows mental tiredness and everything. Remember, I said we can forget sometimes, we can sleep off in meetings sometimes, but when it is all the time and then it's affecting quality of life, it's affecting decision making, that's when you can now go as far as saying that dementia has set in. And then until you do a test to check for those beta amyloid plaques, then you can now say the person has Alzheimer's. So that's that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay. It says,
hello,
I'm
Dr.
not
Susan.
Susan.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I think that lady is not sleeping at night
Good.
because I have a friend that will fall asleep in meeting, fall asleep while driving. She went for a sleep study and they said she wasn't sleeping at all. So she's probably not
Excellent.
sleeping at night and she
Yes.
thinks she's sleeping.
Thank
So,
you.
I don't know where they can do sleep study or something to find out for her.
Okay. So what she's saying is very deep, because maybe at some point, as she had said it, I'm always, your questions and comments is what gives me my list of what I'm teaching next. You can be sleeping, everybody on this platform, oh my God, you'll be shocked that 20% of us on this platform, if we do a sleep study, we will fail. More than 20%, if not up to 40%. You are lying down there, you think you're sleeping, but they put some probes on you and they study how you're sleeping. You never really get to that REM cycle and do all the cycles of sleeping that qualifies you for a restorative and healing sleep. So maybe you lay down on your bed and you come to work. Yes, you will be sleeping in the church and in meetings and maybe driving. So thank you so much for overly highlighting the fact that poor sleep quality could actually majorly contribute to that. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Susan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
Okay. My name is Precious Emmanuel.
Okay.
I have this 16-year-old son from the age of 1. I've actually sent you that question, but I'm thinking I should just say it out. I have this 16-year-old son from the age of 1. He has this case of macrocephaly, a brain issue. And we were at UPTH severally, at IME, at Gumola. We've done everything. Eventually at BMH, we were asked to put him on a particular what's that? Anti-seizure drug. I
Yes.
can't remember the name. I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember. So he was put on that, and we're told to consistently keep using it for him until we see changes. He has been on that drug now. At the time, that drug was too expensive. So we have to go for a brand of that, like this, that they call Captor or Capazine. Now, he has been on that drug now for about 4 years now. With the drug, is doing fine. No more fits, because it was a time he was getting into epileptic fits. Almost like every other night, he doesn't take that drug. If he's exhausted for 2 days, he gets into epileptic fit. But being consistent with that drug over the years, the fit stopped. But my question is, how long will I continue buying drugs? And the boy is going to be 17 now, and he's been on these drugs for over 5 years. What do you advise, please?
Well, what I will advise is that number one, I told you I have a doctor of pharmacy degree. So the way those drugs are made, they make it so that you never come off of it. I'm so sorry. So it's not really a corrective drug, it's a maintenance drug. And that's why we say in medicine, disease state management. So it's one of those disease state management type of medicine. And then when the doctor sees that the patient is getting better, they will taper it off. So what they will do is, okay, the first step is like, see the doctor, can the patient try half a dose? You will not remove it. And if the patient is doing well on half a dose, then can the patient do well on quarter of a dose? And then if the patient is doing well on quarter of a dose, then you now, after like 3 months again, now you now slowly remove it and observe. So that's the only way to bring out that patient from it for the most part. Then the second thing is that in countries like India, which I have visited every part of India in search of natural medicine to just add to the practice and help people, they have this therapy where it's like an oil therapy, and they keep dropping the oil on your forehead. They use it to cure all forms of seizures. I've not seen that therapy. Oh no, I think there's a place in Lagos that are doing it. So it helps to cure and get rid of all kinds of seizures. Also, for some weird reason, I don't know if it's the herb in the oil that keeps dropping on your forehead, or I don't know what makes it cure seizure. But that I have seen, they have a seizure center using that oil therapy. Another one is deep breathing exercises. Like if you get somebody to teach the child, a lot of breathing exercises, in addition to breathing, just breathing. Breathing exercises can go far. I have actually attended a program where we did breathing exercise for 3 consecutive days, and nature walk and whatever. So breathing exercises can actually help. Then how old is the boy? 16. So there are actually some natural supplements. I think reach out to me separately. Then there are some natural supplements that we can incorporate while we have the dose of the orthodox drug, because you can easily stop the natural supplement but not the orthodox drug.
Okay, ma. Okay, I appreciate it.
No problem. But initially, till we do that, we can try to half the dose with the permission of the doctor that put him on, and then see how the patient performs, and then we'll now taper it until we go off. But we can talk offline. Thank you.
I'll do that. Thank you, ma. I appreciate it.
Okay, so because of time, we will have to stop here. Okay. Somebody says a friend of mine just had a surgery, or cholecystectomy surgery. Okay, so that has to do with the gallbladder, bile, and all of that. So please just reach out to me separately. I can get you a meal plan that will help out. I am not getting the audio. Okay, so that's fine. So God bless all of you, and let's do an affirmation together. Put your hand on your head and say, I have a great memory.
I have a great memory.
My
My
memory
brain is
serves
working right.
me well. My memory serves me well. My memory
My
works
memory
well
serves me
all the days of my life.
all the days of my life.
Yes, and so shall
well
it be.
all the days of
Yeah, so keep praising your brain. It works like magic. So
my
have a good
memory
night
works.
and God
Oh
bless
my
you all. Until we
God.
see again.